Okay, NASA status. I want to say a few things about that because it's been kind of a nightmare for a lot of people here lately. Employee status. They've reduced the number of employees from 18,000 to 14,000, basically, as of now. And it's not quite clear what those numbers include. It might include the probationary employees who were fired earlier in the year. It certainly includes somewhat less than 4,000 who took the voluntary resignation program. That program just ended right around the end of July. So that's why this number coming out is pretty indicative of where we are right now. One point that these don't include contractors. There's a lot of people who work for NASA that actually are contractors. Flight controllers, for instance, Nathan, he doesn't actually work for NASA. He works for a contractor for NASA. And the other thing about employees, one big one, of course, would be who's heading up this operation. They haven't even nominated somebody yet for a permanent administrator. So NASA's kind of drifting at this point. Budget status. We talked about this before. They had cut the budget about 24% in the proposal that the White House set out. However, this big, beautiful bill did add back about $10 billion in funding, although it went back into SLS, all those kind of things. Science funding, about 47% cut in that. Now, there are people working on bills, though, in the Senate and getting input from the House to restore all this stuff, essentially. I'll skip through the details on that. But as is always the case with NASA and almost everything else, there's almost always somebody advocating for something. Something will probably resolve this eventually, although it's too late in the case of people that have lost their job. Okay, one last thing is NSS has joined in with this Save NASA Science. It's actually being headed, I think, by the Planetary Society, because they're a little bit more basic science oriented than NSS, where we're more interested in what does it take to actually expand civilization into space, as opposed to, gee, I wonder how pulsars work. There's sort of a different orientation there. So, but we're part of that, because the science is cool. So there's a day of action. If anyone's interested in that, you can look it up. Just look for NASA Science Day of Action, and you can find it. There's a little bit of training they give. There's some you do online, just a couple hours or 4 hours or something. And then they're going to meet with the representatives of Congress, so the House and Senate, on October 5th and 6th. It's really just meeting on the 6th. On the 5th, they're going to spend an afternoon, like another 4 hours going through a training. Okay, quick update on some other stuff. Lunar missions. One you probably haven't heard of recently is nuclear fission reactors. They're off and on. NASA had been talking about them for quite a while. They always said they were going to start with a 40 kilowatt reactor by early 2030s. And really, you need that for a lunar base. It's just hard to have enough solar power batteries a night. It's just hard to get through that. And that, of course, partially is to compete with China, who has said they will have a lunar base by 2036, which will be powered by a reactor. And they subcontracted that to Russia. Now, they're about to announce phase 2 with the interim NASA chief, Duffy. So they're out there soliciting now, and they're looking for proposals. And notable upcoming launches, they're about the same. SpaceX finally is about ready to do Flight Test 10. So that's really it.
Other space-related videos or slide presentations by me are available at the link shown here. That includes a list of videos at my YouTube channel, so you can view them or subscribe for notifications about future videos. These presentations are mostly made as part of the meetings of National Space Society's North Houston chapter, and the link to that is shown. Topics like these are presented as part of a monthly news segment, and there are also lots of other interesting speakers and open discussions. You can attend in person or online via Zoom. Come join us.